Welcome to Sunday. It is August the 14th. It is 4:10 p.m. And on this Sunday, I would like to offer tips for those who are wanting to either astral project or shift. Now, this will be mostly geared towards people who are just starting out, but I think that for those of you who are actively either astral projecting or shifting, this, I hope, will also be helpful to you. Also, a note to those who might just be, this might be your first time listening to my channel, listening to one of my videos. You should know that all of the tips or advice that I give are based on my own experiences. They may or may not work for you, but I think it's important to let you know that, I don't get this from books, reading books. I don't necessarily get this from the internet at all. These are all based on the 40 plus years that I've been doing this and the experiences that I have. One of the things I wanted to talk about today was patience. This is an important thing and something that I struggle with still, despite the fact that I've been doing this for a very long time. Now, for those of you who listened to my last experience, it was an experience that happened after some time. There was a while there. There was a big, huge gap. I visited a place where it seemed that the beings not only went from being basically inanimate to coming alive, they were two-dimensional and they were also animated, and they reacted to me when I reached and was going to attempt to just touch them because I was very curious. It was quite a fascinating experience, but I tell you, in that gap when not much was happening. By the way, even when things aren't necessarily happening, I dream a lot. And I know there are those of you who understand this. I know that there are people who have this thing where they just dream and dream and dream. I dream just about every single night. It's very rare, or not only at nighttime, but when I take naps. Like if I were to go to sleep right after I finish this, if I were to just lay down and go to sleep, chances are if I don't have an experience, I will have a dream of some kind. So my dreams are very active, but the experiences, there are times when I'll go some time without having an experience, guys. And, sometimes I will definitely tell you this, it can be frustrating. And so with that, I can understand how some of you who are listening are, very frustrated. Especially I've, heard stories of people who have been trying for years and years and years just to have either one astral projection experience or one shift. That's it. And they haven't been able to do it. And the reality is there are a lot of people out there that are like that. They get on the subreddit, they get on Amino, maybe they get on TikTok. They see these people that are speaking about doing their shifts or having their astral projection experiences. And as I have said in a previous video, they try to compare themselves to those people. So in other words, they're like, well, if this person is doing it, then why can't I do it? And why don't I, a lot of times I think people will think things like, maybe I'm not good enough to do this. Maybe I'm just not, I don't have what it takes. And they basically knock themselves down. This is what they do to themselves. And it saddens me because, it more than likely has nothing to do with whether you're good enough to do something or not. Now, I don't know what the particular things what your particular circumstances are, or the things that may be preventing you from having an experience. I can't know that. Even if you sat there and told me certain things, all of these things are inside of you, and they're things that you need to figure out on your own within yourself. Now, I know a lot of people, again, when you're on some of these sites, you don't hear that. People will just say, yeah, you can do it. You can do it. I've seen people say, I promise you. I've seen comments like this before in different places. I promise you, like, for example, you will be able to shift, when they're trying to motivate people. And while I appreciate those folks trying to keep the others motivated and trying to keep their head up, I think it's wrong. My personal opinion is I think it's wrong to promise anything. You can't promise anyone anything. I can't promise anyone anything. I'm very, very honest and straightforward on this channel about that. There is no way that I could promise you that you will be able to astral project or to shift. I can give you tips based on my experience, the things that work for me, but I never know if they're going to work for you or not. But getting back to the whole thing with patience, it is, it's the key to all of this. I can tell you that when I just had my last experience, again, I was kind of frustrated because I was kind of trying to, have experiences, and nothing really was happening at the time. Now, I've told you before that I trust my guides. I do. I trust those around me. And there are times when perhaps it's best that I don't go out there. And I trust that. But that doesn't mean that I don't get frustrated. I'm human, and I like having those experiences. As I say, the last experience I had with those beings becoming animated was amazing. I love doing things like that. And it's hard to be patient, but I can tell you that if you are not patient, again, if you are trying and if you're pushing and you're saying, I have to be able to do this, and if you are in a place of desperation, it's going to make things more difficult for you. The best thing to do is to lay back and relax and not to put pressure on yourself. Again, one of the things that I have learned, so one of the deepest lessons that I've learned through both astral projection and through shifting, is the relationship that I have with me and how important that is. And how when you get outside of your body, you begin to realize how vast you are as a being. I talk about the infinite network that you are, and we are all infinite network, an infinite network of beings. And I believe it's true. That relationship is the key to being able to, in my mind, is the key to being able to either astral project or to shift. You have to have a good relationship with you. And a part of that is being patient with yourself. Now, I want you to try just an exercise. And what I want you to do is to, instead of in the times you feel like you want to go and you want to either astral project or shift, I want you to go to your bed or whatever it is that you use, your couch or whatever. And I just want you to lie down. And when you have this in your head, whether you want to AP or shift, I want you to take that out of your head completely. I want you to say, you know what, just remove the thought of actually astral projecting or shifting and just lie down. Just lie down and relax without any of that in your head. And just practice relaxing without being focused on, either AP or reality shifting. Just do that. And what I think you might find as you do this, and do this consistently, do this to the point where, it becomes, you become accustomed to it. What you might find, what you may find, again, I can't guarantee you and I can't promise you any of this, but once you put it out of your head, and once you lie down, and once you're just relaxing, you might find that you begin to start to feel things, that things begin to occur if you do something like this. Again, one of the things that I have said is that when you put the intent before doing this into your head, you say, you know what, I would really like to have an experience. I would really like to astral project, or I'd really like to shift. And then you let go of that thought. Put it out of your head completely. The thought's there, you've put it out into the universe, and now you're just going to lay down and you're just going to chill. Maybe you're going to have your iPad on, you're going to listen to some music, but you're not focused on doing this thing, this astral projection, or this, or the reality shifting. You're not focused on it. You're just relaxing. And as you relax, pay attention to some of the things that you may be feeling. Really pay attention to the things. Pay attention to what you are seeing, within your closed eyelids, the colors, all the other things. And just relax. That, guys, is, one of the first steps I want you to take for those of you who are just starting out. And again, I know this is kind of unorthodox. This is not something you would probably hear from others, because there are folks out there that have all these different steps you can do, and, all these different techniques. What I'm asking you to do is to start off and to keep things very simple. Just lie down, clear your head, and just relax. That's it. That's the start. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. I'll continue to do this on Sundays. Maybe I'll add things as we go along here. So my first tip is to do this, and then we'll move forward, perhaps next Sunday. And I'd be interested to see or to hear if any of you have progressed at all. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. And until next time, take care.